Welcome everyone, I'm Amy. It's hard to even say it. I'm an NPC FitModel competitor and a bikini competitor and a nutritional therapy practitioner. And this is my 2 weeks out vlog. Oh my gosh. Suddenly I'm in prep. Surprise, hooray, all the things. Well, I know we knew that because we talked about it in last week's video, but 2 weeks out, all the things happening in this week and next week, like all the prep things happening at once. But I have a short intro this week. Usually I do feedback from my coach, but I do not have any this week. I have not received it yet, so still waiting on that. But I did send him a text a couple of days ago just to make sure that he was on board with me prepping because that was one of the questions I asked in my check-in, and since I hadn't heard back yet, he said yes. But as you know from my last video, I have quite a lot of questions and it'll be our first time prepping together, so I am hoping to hear back from him soon because I'm getting a little anxious about that. As a competitor does when they're this close to a show, you get a little bit crazy. And even though I've not had a lot of time to prep, I still feel some of those prep things all of a sudden. So no feedback this week. If I have any, which I absolutely will have some, it's going to be in my outro. The other things that are coming up in this video, as you saw in the title, my FitModel suit arrived. So I have my FitModel suit unboxing and also my hair extension unboxing. And I'm going to talk about the hair extensions in the intro just so I can show everybody a little bit closer up, because in the unboxing, it's kind of hard to see. So, my biggest concern when I was ordering extensions was mostly, just finding one that had a curl pattern that matched mine. So this company I found that does these curly hair extensions, and I will link them in the description box below. They have like 3 or 4 curl patterns to choose from, and also I think maybe 6 or 7 colors. And obviously having red hair, it makes it kind of challenging because I have kind of a unique type of red hair. Like it's a little bit darker, but it's not really coppery or gingery. So I was concerned about finding a good match. So what I ended up going with was the one that they call chestnut. And it's the chestnut curly. And this has not been washed yet, so I have not washed it, but I think this curl pattern is going to be perfect. It really closely mimics my natural curl pattern. And also the color is going to be, I think, as good of a match as I could possibly get. I'm going to show you. So yes, it is lighter than my hair, but you have to think like it's going to be like layered in, and when it's layered in, it blends really well. So even though it is a little bit lighter, you can kind of see that if I put it right in the front, like you can see that it's a little bit lighter than my natural hair color, but I think the curl pattern is going to match really well. And again, when it's layered in and like up on stage, you're not going to see that difference. So they come in what they call wefts. I'm learning all these new things, so you can kind of see it. If I hold it up closely, you can see that there's these little clips. So those slide in. And I'll have to watch all the tutorials to learn how to do this. And that's why I'm glad they got here when they did, because definitely gonna be a learning curve here. I have to wash these all first, wash them, dry them, because they are a little bit frizzy. This is what happens. This is what my hair looks like when it needs to be washed. So, and then you can start to use them. So I will do all of those things this week so I can learn how to use my new hair extensions. And if you're a curly hair girl and you need extensions, definitely click that link below. They're expensive, but these are, natural hair, and extensions are just going to be expensive, but they should last for a really long time if you take care of them. I probably should have gotten 2 sets, but again, they are expensive. And since I wasn't sure about the color, I figured I'd just start with one, and one's going to be enough to kind of fill in a little bit. And then, I can always get another set in the future. They come by the gram. So this is the 22-inch 110 gram set. And that's what they recommend for people with fine hair, which I do have fine hair. So we'll see how it looks. And the 22 inch is the longest of the sets that are available in this curl pattern. I think maybe some of the other curl patterns have different lengths, but in the curly pattern, this is what they had. So I'm super pleased with them. So you will see that in the unboxing that comes after this intro. Also this week, I have my posing session with Tori Wright. That's actually tomorrow. So she is a current FitModel competitor, and she's been a posing coach. She competed in bikini, I think 5 to 7-ish years ago. It's been a few years since she competed in bikini, but she was a bikini competitor who is now doing fit model. So she has done 2 fit model competitions this season herself. So I'm excited to pose with her because not only is she an awesome posing coach, but she also is a current fit model competitor. There aren't many. So excited about that. And I have a chiropractor appointment. I have a busy week. I have a nail appointment on Thursday. Like I said, it's all the, like everything that would be, you know, in a 12 to 16 week prep, I am doing in 2 weeks. So starting skin prep this week, you have to really start exfoliating. I need to start shaving. Even though I shave the week of the show also, it's just kind of nice to start knocking down, you know, the thicker hair. I mean, mostly just my arms, just to kind of keep up on it, because it's a lot easier to just maintain it once you kind of shave it all off than it is to do the big shave. The big shave takes forever. So, oh, yikes. I know I've said this a number of times, but I'm excited. I am nervous. I am all the things that you feel in prep in a real short time frame. So I appreciate everybody for being along for the ride on this. If you are also considering fit model and you have questions, please leave those in the comments below. I definitely, you know, with my posing session with Tori, I'm sure I'll pick her brain a little bit. I definitely want to get her input on how my suit fits. Like I said, it does need to be glued down. I think I say that, if I did not say that in the unboxing, I will say that now. It definitely needs to be glued down in the back because the back is so big. And in general, the suit, I probably should have gotten a small bottom, but you don't want the coverage not to be enough because then you'll get marked down. But also I have it cinched down as tight as it goes. So we'll see. I think for everybody, it's still a little bit of a learning process. And the show I'm doing, it's going to be the first fit model show of the season for the judges here to judge as well. So it's new for everybody. I did look to see how many competitors competed in this show last year, and it was a very big show, which was surprising to me because it is the first show of the season. You know, I think a lot of people don't love prepping in the winter, or at least I would not love prepping in the winter. Apparently I just didn't know it. But it was a big show. So I'm assuming it will be a big show again, and probably even bigger with the addition of not only fit model, but it is a combination show this year. So it's a NPC natural and just regular NPC show. So people that are drug tested, there's a whole separate show for them that's going to kind of run. I don't know if they're going to run at the same time, but it's going to be cool to see that because there's going to be all the natural athletes there, like the drug tested athletes and all the other athletes there. So I'm excited to see how that goes as well. So it's going to be a really interesting show. Whew. Yeah. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comments, and appreciate everybody for being here, and please stay tuned for all the good things to come in this 2 weeks out video. Today is the day. My fit model suit arrived. Oh, I can't wait to open it. It actually got here last night, but I didn't want to open it not live. I wanted a genuine reaction, and the lighting was terrible, so waited for some daylight, and it's time to open. So I have my bikinis here from Toxic Angels, and also my new curly hair extensions from, I believe it is pronounced Bebonia. I should have checked that before I started, but I'm super excited to do this. So let's do the hair extensions first. I've waited this long on the suit. I can wait a couple more seconds. Let's do the hair extensions and get these not out of the way, but get these done. I have never used hair extensions ever in my life, and I didn't even know that curly hair extensions were a thing until I started doing some TikTok research. So that's why I mentioned in my last video that I have some TikTok confidence going on here, but they do provide a full YouTube playlist of tutorials, like what to do when you get them, because you do need to wash them before you use them the first time, and some other things. So I will link these in the description box below. I went with the chestnut, and this is the 110 gram, 22 inch set. So you get to open this little tester first. So you do not open this when you get them, because if you do, and this color doesn't match you, you cannot return them. So that's really important. So let's open this little side. Yeah, there are instructions on here. Let's just read these. This is one of the pieces from your full set. This piece is designed to allow you to see the color, curl pattern, and quality. You may take it out of this bag, but do not remove the silver bind. You shouldn't wear or style this piece until you decide to keep your set. After you've decided to keep your set, you can then add this piece to your full set attached. Please note that once the full set is opened, you cannot exchange or return. So that is pretty important. So open this side first. Okay. I think this color is going to be good. And this is, oh, there's a little net on it. Okay. This is real hair. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, I think this color is going to be perfect. So I'll have to watch the video on how to style these. It is a little different color than my natural hair, but I think it's going to blend really well. And of course I'll do some color matching. The other thing you can do is you can dye them. I've never dyed my hair, so it's not like I could match it with the dye because I don't use dye, but I have used that rinse, but I think that rinse would not work with these. But I think that's gonna work. And yes, it is, I think the curl pattern is correct also. So there we go. Curly hair extensions. We shall see how this goes. All right, okay. Now what I've been waiting for. It is time to unpackage my FitModel bikini. I did also, the reason this bag is so big is because I mentioned it, well, I showed my whole order. I ordered a couple of just regular bikinis, like not posing suits, not anything, like literally just bikinis to actually wear. So those are in here too. And I've never gotten a regular bikini from Toxic Angels. I've only ever gotten a posing suit or a show day suit. So I'm excited to see how that looks as well. I think I'm gonna need scissors. Make sure I do not cut the suits. Okay, they are all in this bag. Okay, so the bikinis I ordered, let's put you on the back burner for just a moment. Again, get all this other stuff out of the way. The bikinis I ordered are all in the same color, so I ordered one bottom and two tops. So this is the regular just swimsuit bikini bottom. I'm interested to compare it to the FitModel bottom to see how it compares in size. It's just a side tie with a little scrunch bum. That's really cute. And these pieces, when I ordered them, and I think they are still available on the website, were like $12 a piece, which is incredible. I mean, these are beautiful quality. So that's the bottom, and then I ordered two tops because I like options. So this one's really cute. It's kind of a halter style. And then this other one is kind of a more traditional triangle top, but you can tie them in different ways. So this one, it's really cute. Yeah, that's cute. I probably could have ordered a medium in that one, but I ordered larges just to make sure. And oh goodness, this is really cute. So it's just a regular, it's just like a traditional like triangle top. But like I said, you can, there's a lot of strings, so you can kind of do a little bit different way of tying it that they show on the website that I will probably not be good at, and I'll probably just wear it like this. So, oh, those are cute. And the color is really pretty. I love that royal blue. It's really pretty. Okay, here she is, the FitModel suit. The big question is the bottoms. They have sliders. Oh my gosh, they're huge. They are. Look at that. The front is bigger than the, like basically it's wider than the front on the regular bikini. Let's see the backs. This was interesting. I didn't even think that that I would have these to compare. I didn't think about that part of it, but that's really interesting. So the back is a little bit smaller and a little bit scrunchier, but not a ton. It's just, I think it's basically like the exact same cut, just more scrunch. Like that's really what it looks like to me, is it just has a little more scrunch. Oh, it is stretchy, stretchy, stretchy. Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, very similar to the, I mean, if you, yeah, that's like barely smaller in the back than just the regular bikini, but it does cut off a little bit more on, you know, kind of comes to more of a taper on the sides, and also doesn't have the ties. So it has the little sliders, and boy, there's a lot of coverage, but that's what they want. Like, and it's going to come up super high. Let me grab my bikini from them and kind of look at the difference. Let's see. Grab the bottoms of my bikini division suit, just to kind of let you guys see what I mean when I say that there is as much fabric in this bottom as there is in my entire show day bikini, for sure. Like by many, many fold. Let's take a look at the backs. It's like comical. Like, there's the back of my bikini. And there's the back of the Fit Model bikini. It like dwarfs it. This is interesting. This is a whole new world. Okay, put you blingy suit off to the side. Let's take, the top is just going to be the regular top. It's literally the exact same top as the bikini suit top and also of my posing suit top, so it's the exact same. Oh, but the color is gorgeous. Wow, it's beautiful. This is a whole new division for me. I'm excited to try this on and try on the regular bikinis. The weather is supposed to, I think, be like 40 degrees today, so definitely not gonna be wearing one outside, but try them on, and those will be fun for the summer. So there we go. That is the new Fit Model division suit and also my curly hair extensions. Let me know if you have any questions.
All right, so this is my posing session lesson with Tori. I apologize up front if the audio on this is not great. I'm recording not with my normal mic, and it is really, really windy outside right now, so you might hear that in the background. But we just started off, she had me kind of do a little bit of my bikini pose because that's one of my big concerns, is that I'm going to accidentally do my bikini pose or revert back to it because it is so different getting into it. So that's what we started off kind of first. One of the things she said was, sometimes it's best just not to change something, like keep it starting the same instead of trying to make it completely different. So that's what we kind of did. We started off with just kind of getting into it the same way and then opening up into the Fit Model front pose. The day that we did this, it was late in the day on a Monday, and I was just not feeling great about the way I looked and about the way I felt. So I was trying not to get too distracted by that, but it was distracting me a little bit. And it was something that she and I talked about. She also is someone who is new to the division, but is a bikini competitor, did very well in bikini. And has tried out Fit Model several times this year. So it was nice to be able just to talk to her about some of the feelings I have about the differences in my body versus how it looks when I'm, 2 weeks out from bikini is obviously a much different look than this. So this was me practicing what she called the U-turn. If I'm coming in from that side of the stage, I kind of need to swivel around and then pop into that front pose. Something that I definitely need to work on is the mobility in my hips, always, but it's especially true, you kind of have to really drive your hip forward, and the camera angle on this is actually slightly off center, so I'm where like maybe the second judge over would sit is where where the camera is angled, because I have my phone directly in front of me so that I could be looking straight at her and so that she could be looking straight at me. We did take a few minutes here and there to just kind of chat, and she took a few screenshots and would send them to me, so I'd come over and look. So if you see me almost fall over, if you see me come over and look at the camera or look at my phone, it's because she was sending me pictures. One of the things, was interesting is, you have to be a little bit more forward, and it's so true. Once you these things feel really weird when you're doing them, but then going back and looking at pictures of competitors on stage, all the things she was telling me to do made a lot more sense after I was able to kind of assimilate them, like this crunch forward. And, I really need to be even a little bit more forward, but that does really help with my ribs a lot also. You guys know that that's something I really, really struggle with, is just having a really wide rib cage. So kind of crunching down and in helps me not only push my hips back a little bit further, but also keeps me from looking quite so ribby. So that's really good. I always look so focused. That was one thing that Karen said that to me once when we were doing a session. She's like, the look on your face right now, she's like, you're just so focused. So kind of showing me where to angle was a lot of what we talked about, like how to angle your hip. It is such a different, it's not like an intuitive way to angle yourself towards somebody. So that was definitely a lot of what we worked on, was just kind of getting that angle correct and knowing which judge to kind of look at and focus at. And, it was all really helpful. We're just chatting sometimes too. Here's the front pose. We worked primarily on the front pose. You'll see that she does change some things with my T pose and then also with my kind of transition to the back. My back pose is the same as the bikini pose, so it does not need to change, which is great. Yeah, like really figuring out how to get that, as she said, just pose to something else instead. So come over and I pose to something else instead, pose to the window, pose to the wall, just pick anything and kind of just working on getting that angle. Like I said, with bikini, it's really obvious, like how you angle yourself. But with the fit model pose, it's a little bit different because your foot is off center, so it's not really like you're centered. And then just really trying to get the front of my suit to face, more toward the window and rotate my hip differently. Something else that I've realized since this session was that I need to be actually putting a little bit more weight on that front foot. I was kind of just letting it hover or just like try to barely touch it down, which means I was not really balanced. So I have realized since then that I actually can put some weight on that foot, and that helps me be able to rotate my hip the correct way, which is good. And then transitioning to the back. These suit bottoms are just gigantic. So we work a little bit on, she changes this actually a lot, but it was more her showing me, and then our session was basically over. So I've had to do most of that change on my own, but I have been working a lot on that. So I was really kind of just watching what she was doing in most of this. And then not really, I only really practiced it, I think, once because we changed so much with my turn to the back. She doesn't want me to be rotating quite as much when I do that first little transition. And it's really fast in fitmodel. You have about 15 seconds, best case scenario, to get through your entire posing routine. So you really have to make sure that you get through that quickly, which is why it's important that it looks good in that really like split second that you're doing it. So staying far more to the side. So instead of bringing that, what is my left glute kind of further back around, she wants me to keep it more like that, like more to the side. Even that was probably a little bit too much. So when I come over, she sent me some pictures just so I could kind of see the difference in also keeping my back up more and not allowing it to kind of round forward. That's definitely a bad habit that I have. When I transition, I would kind of allow my shoulder to drop forward, which would really kind of round my upper back, which was not great. So that was really helpful. So she was really just kind of showing me that. And at this point, we were basically out of time, but we kind of ran through everything quickly. One more time. This is when we kind of make some changes to this front pose, which has been extremely helpful. I mean, this is the same thing I will be doing in my bikini routine as well. So really helpful there. And then not turning quite so much and keeping my shoulders up and my back up and just not rotating around quite so much when I do that first transition. And that was it.
Welcome back. It is the end of week 1 of my prep, which means I am 2 weeks out. Actually, I will be tan this time in 2 weeks, which is insane. But I will get into all of that. Before I do, let's talk a little bit about my feedback from Erin. Since I didn't have that in my intro, we'll talk about that first. There basically was none. It was change nothing, do nothing differently, keep doing what you're doing. So that was it. that was my feedback for the week. So, and next thing I'm gonna talk about is what I sent Erin for my check-in for this week. This is, like I said, it is the end of week 1 of prep, which seems crazy to say, and I'm probably gonna say that a lot of times in this outro. So the other things that we saw in this video were my unboxing of my fitmodel suit and also of my hair extensions. In the intro video, I realized that those hair extensions look like they are drastically different color than my natural hair. But it's good. I think the closest I'm gonna get. And once they're layered in, like they really look okay. And I feel like the camera kind of makes my hair look a little bit darker than it is, and it makes those hair extensions look a little bit lighter. The other thing I can always do with those hair extensions is have them dyed. I don't dye my hair this is my natural color. So I don't know that I would maybe do that until I needed to start dyeing my own hair and then make them match, which is definitely an option. If you take care of your hair extensions, they will last you for years. So I still have not washed them and dried them, which is something I'm going to try and do this weekend if I have time, but I might not. But I need to make time to do that because time is a ticking. All right, without further ado, let's talk about my check-in from this week. So before I forget, there are some check-in photos here. You've already seen all my posing practice from the week. It was pretty rough. It still feels pretty rough. I hate these pictures. There's no other way to say it. I can't stand them. I would like to never look at them again. So that's how I'm feeling in this moment about those pictures. But let's talk about what I sent for my check-in to Erin this week. So my check-in. First question is digestion, and I got logged out. Let's log back in. Maybe. There we go. Okay, I'm logged back in. Technology is great when it works. All right, check-in, here we are. First question about digestion. Any issues with digestion? None, which is great. I am still working on the digestion video. Suddenly being on prep has kind of thrown my world into a little bit of chaos, but I am still working on that. How do you feel overall well-being? I said, good, cruising right along. I feel like my legs and glutes need to tighten up a lot before I'm on stage or before I'm stage ready. I have a big pocket of fat under my glutes, and I wish I had a bit more visible definition in my quads. Yeah, it's weird because my weight hasn't really changed at all, but I feel like my legs are just starting to look like softer and softer and softer every day, and not in a good way. So that is concerning to me. I haven't seen my legs look like this in a really long time, like years. I don't even remember when they looked like this before, but it is concerning to me. And the fat I carry under my glutes, like my little glute shelf. So yes, that's how I'm feeling. How's my recovery? What week of the mesocycle I'm in? Basically, I was training going. I said it's meso week 1, back to my lower body focus. Going well, getting close to my previous week 5 numbers on week 1 and feeling good. So when I track my workouts in the app, it shows my stats from the previous workout. Well, so the previous workout that I did on my lower meso was my overreaching week, or like the week I was striving toward failure. And I guess I didn't really realize that at first. And I was just like, oh yeah, those weights feel good. But then I was putting what my RIR was, or my reps in reserve. And like I was looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like at 0 on most of them, or 1 on some of them. I'm like, well, now I'm at like 3 to 5 on all of these. So that's really good, especially being off of that routine for, the last 6 weeks, to jump right back in. And I did some of those same exercises in the upper focus sessions, but not to the same volume and not all in the same workouts. So I was actually really surprised by that. Now, not everything, but most everything. I was hitting pretty close to that with the correct amount of RIR that I should be having for week 1 versus where I was at in week 5 when I was really trying to push for failure. So that was really good. Soreness this week was mostly from my posing session on Monday, low back and brain, as expected. Yeah, my brain was fried. Doing a posing session at the end of the day, especially on a day when I just was not feeling super great, and I'm sure I mentioned that in the posing video, was challenging. But it did give me like overnight to really think about it and process things, and then I felt better the next morning about the posing than I did at the end of the posing session on Monday. But brain was still kind of wrecked, and low back was also sore from all the posing. Glutes were good and sore on Tuesday after hitting them hard for 2 days, all resolved after my rest day on Wednesday. So yeah, my glutes did feel nice and sore, which was good. I really feel like I've hit a good sweet spot with the equipment I have available after going through that mesocycle once before. I know like the exact angles to kind of get now on certain things so that I can really target the muscle I'm going for, even with limited equipment. So that's been really good also. Any exercise I'm having issues with? None. Anything else you should know? There really isn't. I wrote none this week. Usually I've got something to say there. There really isn't much to say. Weight, blood pressure, how much water I'm drinking a day, stick to the diet. Quality of sleep, I put as a 6. I have had some rough sleep this week. I've slept well, I just haven't slept long. Yeah, and my Oura Ring has been very upset with me. My sleep and recovery and HRV is all not good this week, but that's all right. Recovery I put as an 8. It still feels really high. I was a little bit sore for a couple of days, but nothing terrible. Energy I put as a 7. Even with the really rough sleep, I feel like my energy's still been pretty good. Digestion is a 10. Stress I put as a 5 to 7. Normal work life stress. Had a couple of stressful days at work, but nothing crazy. Appetite I put as a 5. It's normal. It just feels like normal. Glucose steps. I talk some more about the glucose right now, about supplements or any unusual side effects from anything. I said blood sugars continue to creep. Monitor 1 has been back in the low hundreds all week. Monitor 2 is in the high 80s, but slowly going up as well. So they both, like, even though, like I've mentioned, that they were like that 10 to 15 points off from each other, they both are on the same trajectory back up. So that is disappointing. So I do think I'm going to increase my metformin dose at night and see if that helps. Sleep routine is the same, 9-ish to 4-ish. Personal goals for the week, areas I could do better in. Number 1, I put posing, posture, vacuums, mobility. That is my number 1 goal. I need to do all of those things. I've been a little bit better about making more time for mobility this week, which has been good. Not as much as I need to be, but I'm doing better. Practice my show day makeup, which I actually have an update on that. I had my nails done yesterday, and I think I mentioned probably in one of my previous videos that my nail tech is also a makeup artist, and I had mentioned to her that I would love for her to do my stage makeup. Well, it works out perfectly. Like, she works on Friday or on Saturdays anyway, and it's really close to my house, so it'll be really easy for me. I told her I'll do my base, so I'll do the foundation just so she doesn't have to mess with that. And since I can, I've done it enough times, it's pretty easy for me to throw that on. Go over to her studio, she'll do my eye makeup, and then I can just leave for the show from there, which is awesome. So I'm so excited that Patty is gonna be doing my makeup. I've never had my makeup professionally done. Well, that's not true. I had it professionally done for glamour shots. Oh my gosh. I should insert that glamour shot picture. If I can find it. I'm pretty sure it's in my desk drawer at work. If I can find my glamour shot, it'll be here. If not, I apologize. Yeah, I had glamour shots done back in the 90s when that was a thing in the mall. I look like I'm about 50 in that glamour shot. I was a teenager. So yeah, that was the last time I had my makeup professionally done. So this will be really fun. I'm really excited. And she's excited too, which is great. Yep, so I said practice show day makeup, which now I don't need to do, which is honestly a huge relief. So that's great. Number 3, try to get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. I need to be prioritizing the amount of sleep I'm getting. I'm in bed that long. I'm waking up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and then, just kind of awake. And I know Aaron would like me to probably get out and go for a walk, but at 3 a.m. it's been really cold here. It was really cold and really windy here this week. So it's like hard to motivate myself to get out of bed and go for a walk when it's like 20 degrees and windy at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I have not done that, but I'm sure that's what Aaron would tell me to do. How my pumps feel. I actually had great pumps this week. I put them as a 9. Like, they were really good. Like, I got really good glute pumps. Like, when you've hit your glutes like especially hard and you get up from whatever you were doing and you literally feel like lightheaded because like all the blood has like rushed to your glutes. I love that feeling. So got that a couple times this week, and then just really, like I said, I've really learned how to really isolate my glutes on the equipment I have. So I'm getting much better pumps, which has been good. I also did an extra scoop of pump this morning because I felt like I needed it. Anything else you should know about training or exercises? I said no. My sleep score this week was an 84. HRV, and my HRV was low. It was 34, which is quite low. I think maybe one time it's been in the 30s in the recent past, but still, that's pretty low for me. And then, there's my hideous check-in pictures. There they are. Yep. That suit, just not flattering. And my posing is bad. So working on all those things. So that was my check-in from the week. Things I have coming up, or anything else I need to talk about in this outro. I feel like there was something. Oh, you know what? I'll talk about it in my intro next week. I have something super exciting and I will tease it here. So when I was at the Arnold, I made a great connection with a company, and I am now an affiliate for them, which I am really excited about. I still do have my code with RedCon1, but this company, I was able to spend quite a bit of time chatting with the owner, and then he and I connected via email afterward, and I'm really excited, but I want to be able to show what it is. So that will be in my intro for next week. So be excited. Something exciting is coming that I hope you guys all really like. I will be working on the digestion video. These next 2 weeks are just going to fly by. I hope to have a little bit more time, if not this week, next week, but it is coming. Robin, you haven't commented in a while, but I hope you're out there and you know that I am still working on that video for you. It will come out. It'll be a standalone because it's going to be a little bit longer, and I just don't want to make a super long vlog video. So if you have questions about the Fit Model division, I obviously have not competed in it yet, but I will be soon. And if you have any thoughts or tips or tricks or anything, if you have competed in FitModel this season and have some tips for me, I welcome them. Please send them to me. One of the things I wanted to ask Tori about, we just ran out of time, was if she has to glue her bottoms, because my goodness, are they creepy. They like to just slide up. I'm like, I feel like I don't typically like gluing my suits, and I think I've mentioned it before that the glue really stained one of my suits, or like stuck, and could never really get it off. So I don't historically like using glue, and I've never needed to with my bikinis. I mean, obviously last season my bikinis were so freakishly tight, there was no glue needed. They were not going anywhere. But these bottoms are a bit loose, and I will use the term baggy, which is not something you want with a show day suit. You don't want it to be bagging or baggy anywhere. Super comfortable, but it's also baggy. So I think it's gonna need some glue on show day. Luckily, the tan company they have glue. That is also the glue that stained my last suit, but ultimately, do I really care? No, I'm not gonna resell a FitModel suit. So if it gets glue on the inside of it, I guess that's probably fine, especially if it keeps it from looking saggy and baggy on stage. So please, if you've done it, let me know. Please leave your comments below. So I think that's it. I feel like this was kind of a chaotic one. I apologize. I think I'm feeling a little chaotic just because this is all coming up so fast, and I'm feeling, a little bit of self-doubt and worried about my posing and other things, and just trying to get it all together really quickly. Stage is fun and show day goes by so fast, and I just really want to make sure I enjoy it. So making sure I have everything I need kind of dialed in and locked down for the day will be really helpful. So that's all I've got for this one. Please, please, please spread positivity and light to yourself and everyone around you. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't mention that it's spring. It is spring here in the hemisphere where I live. So I hope you all are getting out and enjoying some nice spring vibes. I saw some daffodils yesterday when I was walking back from the nail salon. So it is feeling like spring here. You are worthy and you deserve all the positivity and light I am sending you. And I will see you here next time.